Awesome. Sounds good. Awesome. Sounds good. We do quite a bit of multiplayer on Mondays. We switch over to like Kill It with Fire 2, Lockdown Protocol. We tried doing Who's Your Daddy, but there was some glitching going on, but I'm going to try to figure that one out. We do quite a bit of multiplayer on Mondays. We switch over to like Kill It with Fire 2, Lockdown Protocol. We tried doing Who's Your Daddy, but there was some glitching going on. I can hear myself talking, like repeating everything back to me. It does it twice. Test, test. No, now it's not doing it. Oh, no, there it is. There it is. It came back. It takes a minute for it to show up. Yeah, it just showed up again. That's weird. It's like the full conversation's coming back to me of me talking. We gotta wait a second, and then I'll tell you when. Yeah, it came back on again. Maybe it's because in your settings you have it set to, um, like you get the desktop audio, so maybe I'm just hearing the desktop audio coming back to me then. So if you have it on now, because like monitor and output wouldn't matter. It shouldn't anyway. Yeah, it's just a straight, it's like it's me talking back to myself right now. That's really strange. Test, test, mic test. Then we gotta wait a second. Yeah, it's still doing it. That's weird. I mean, I can deal with it. Just don't mind me if I make some weird faces when I start hearing myself talk again. No, it's just me, but it's not even necessarily an echo. Like what I meant by that is just it's repeating everything. Like I sound crisp, I sound super crisp, but it's just repeating everything I'm saying like every 15 seconds. No, because I've done this before with people on here, and they've never like we've never had this issue before. The only thing, like I said, the only thing I can think of is well, no, because somebody else would say, well, maybe I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know. No, it's all good. I'll make it work.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Avery, but I go by Soavecito, and I'm a horror content creator. Welcome to episode 33 of Whispers of Horror. We have an awesome horror content creator in The Mimic. How are you today?
I'm not too bad, man. I'm not too bad. Thank you for having me on.
Awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen, we were supposed to do this yesterday, but my daughter's teeth has like multiple. She has multiple teeth coming in at once, and her gums were super inflamed, so we had to cancel. But Mimic was so awesome to be able to be flexible with me and do this with me today. So well, technically tonight, but I'm super excited about it. And we're just gonna go through some questions, and we're gonna do something that we've never done before. Mimic's actually gonna do some gameplay of Beyond Handwell, a game he has. How many hours?
We got 42 hours in it so far.
42 hours. So basically, he's a pro at it. So I'm.
A ridiculous amount.
I remember when I started picking up the game. He's the reason why I actually picked it up again. I didn't think it was that fun, and then I watched you. I think maybe an hour or so of you playing it, and I'm like, okay, maybe I'll give it another shot. And then you jumped on my live, and then you were basically my personal GPS. So I just want to say thank you so much for that. But I just want to get into it. I just want to get to know who you are. So, Mimic, if you don't mind telling us a little bit about you.
I guess where would you like me to start exactly?
Sure. Basically, how did you get into gaming, and or just yeah, like how did you get into just playing games first, and then how did you get into content creation?
So I started gaming off of my brother's systems that he had. I mean, he started out with a NES. He moved over to a Super Nintendo. Um, some of the RPGs that he would have on there, for some reason, I really loved them. Final Fantasies that came out on there. Obviously Mario Kart. I was a kid, so I enjoyed that. And then when he ended up moving up to like the PlayStation, I would watch him play Resident Evil when that came out, and that was really neat. Still freaked me out as a kid, even though pixelated zombies coming at you is still scary to me.
100%.
But I really enjoyed those types of games. Kind of trailed off from it for a little bit, moved back into gaming. I actually did a lot of FPS for quite a while. Did a lot of Black Ops 2 when that came out. Halo was really big into Halo from the beginning to the end so far of what we got. Um, and then actually just recently started getting back into horror over the last year. I decided to move back into that just because I like the unsettling atmospheres. I like the way that things have been going. Not necessarily just for the jump scares, but a lot of the attention to detail for adding in little bits and fragments of like the abused lifestyle, the abused of substances and things like that, and how it contributes to the horror game itself, the psychological effects of it on the family and the characters. It's really interesting to see somebody else's perspective on there and throwing you into it and immersing you into it.
Mm-hmm.
But then for starting content creating, actually my girlfriend, she started doing it and I thought it was kind of neat. And then I jumped into it. I was like, sure, why not? Let's try it. Worst case scenario, it doesn't work out. No big deal. But I really enjoyed doing it when I started because I got to talk to a lot of neat people. They enjoyed what I was doing, and I just kind of kept going.
Yeah, if you don't mind plugging in your where people can find you and what times and days you stream, real quick.
So they can find me on most platforms as it's underscore the underscore mimic. They can find me on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch. I'm on Kick, just about anything that you can think of.
Okay.
And most of the streaming is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday maybe for part of the day.
Okay.
But usually it's at night around 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Oh, nice, nice. I think that's pretty cool. Like, so is there when you're not streaming, do you have any of the hobbies? Do you like to touch grass? Because I don't know what grass is at this point. I really don't, man. Unless I'm working, I don't touch grass.
Really, right now, I go to work and then I come back here, same thing. Try to make my money over there, come over here, relax, unwind with this. Even if I did have kind of a bad day, I start to perk up a little bit once I start talking to everybody on the streams. They tell me about their days, that they're excited to see me on here, that even they had a rough day, and they're like, "Man, I'm so glad the stream's on. I was really getting kind of anxious whether or not you were going to get on," and it makes me feel pretty good. So I really enjoy jumping back into this. Obviously, I'll go out and mow the lawn. There's my grass touching right there. Maybe do some grocery shopping. So
Maybe. Okay, I feel you
yeah.
on that one. Um, that when you brought up like people getting anxious, coming, waiting to see if you're going live, this kind of goes into the next couple questions I have. So between your personal life and content creating, like how do you manage juggling that, and has it been a struggle for you to being able to manage like your family and friends and your girlfriend versus maintaining your content creation and not feeling that pressure of letting people down if you don't go live?
So I would say that at first I kind of struggled with it. I was neglecting certain parts throughout my days. May it be either the stream or making sure I'm getting to work on time, or my personal physical health, or spending extra time with my family. It was hard to find a balance. Right now, I think it's pretty good. Making sure I'm getting to work on time, not staying up too late doing this, super excited to stay in the game and talk to everybody and whatnot. But, giving enough time to where people can, jump on, see that I'm on, unwind, relax from their day, have a few laughs, have a few scares.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that makes me feel pretty good about that. But definitely my own personal health was a big factor in there too, because you got to get up, you got to move, you got to get your water in, you got to stay active. You can't just be sedentary. And and really that's a lot of what happens right here is that we sit, we give some content, we do some video editing, and I know a lot of people might not realize it, but it ends up leading into quite a few hours of the day of having to
Hundred
do a lot
percent.
of that.
I actually, my not to cut you off, but like I went to physical therapy today, and my therapist says you need a standing desk because my lower back is pretty much destroyed because like just all the things I went through, and sitting is not helping me either. So like yeah, people don't realize that when we stream for hours and hours, we still gotta do content. We gotta set up. We gotta make sure we edit. We gotta do all these things in the background. And yeah, you can be sitting in a chair for like 10, 12 hours a day, and it gets to you. And you like you
It
said,
is.
your health is the most important thing. Like I have a daughter too. Like so, I totally understand. Like when it comes to trying to find like a balance between, it's hard because like something is gonna you're gonna lose something. If you put a lot of time, like obviously your family comes first and then your friends and stuff, but you put that, then you're missing out on your streaming. And if you want to make that into something, so there's a big clear balance between it. Um, but the next question I want to ask you is, do you do you ever get to the point? Have you ever gotten to the point where you were looking for a game on Steam or whatever, and you just doom scrolling? I call it like streamer block. You just like go to points where you don't know what to play, and then leading into that other question. To my next question is, have you ever had a streamer burnout where you just like you can't find the motivation to stream? Like you kind of want to maybe call it quits or just take a break. Like have you ever experienced those?
I have done actually the doom scrolling, like you were saying. I had that going on the other day. I'm flipping through things. I'm like, we've done this, we've done this, we've done this, we've done this, and I don't mind jumping back into some of them as you've seen. I mean, like we said, we got 42 hours in Beyond Annual,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, I don't want to, I don't want to beat a dead horse, and make it to where it's unbearable for people to watch because they're like, man, I've seen this already like 50 times. Like, do
Yeah.
something else. Um, but yeah, I have been stuck in the doom scroll before, and it does kind of kill the vibe sometimes on wanting to do the stream because I want to keep people satisfied with it. But I also found that I'm not going to please everybody. A lot of people are they're like, hey, go play this game again, go play this game. I want to watch you do this. I want to watch you do this. Um, I try to find what I feel is going to be entertaining. I try to make it as entertaining as I can with my own personal commentary. Obviously my reactions in there. A lot of people appreciate my interactions in the game and with them when they're watching, just because they feel that makes like 50% of the stream there. They got me and then they got the game. Um, but yeah, I did find real quick that I can't please everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes I just got to find something and go with it and just do it.
No, I respect it. No, yeah, it's hard to please people. I don't want to say like it's hard to please people, but you want to be entertaining, but you also have to find the game entertaining because if you're not having fun, people really pick on that really quickly, and that's a big thing. So I totally respect it. And then It's hard when there could be thousands and thousands in game, but if you played everything and you put so many hours into it, it just literally becomes the doom scroll of, okay, maybe I'm not gonna stream tonight, and that's happened to me where I can't find something to play and I just lose motivation. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go watch TV for a little bit, fall asleep on the couch, and I miss the day. And those are opportunities that could propel my streaming career, or that I missed. And it's a fine balance. But I totally hear that. I gotta ask, out of all the horror games you played, like which one is your favorite, absolute favorite, and why?
Absolute favorite? Oh
Absolute
man.
favorite. Gotta pick one. Everybody always has one.
Uh, like favorite now, favorite overall. What are we
Oh,
talking?
favorite, like favorite overall, like the one
Favorite
that you
overall?
like. This is definitely the game. My favorite horror game. Hard question, I know, because even mine.
It, it it really is. It really is a hard question.
All right, we'll make it a little easier. Top five. Top five. Is that
Top
better?
five. Okay, so right now, my number one favorite is going to be Beyond Handwell. Like I'm having a lot of fun with that one. The devs are still releasing more updates for it, releasing more areas, bug fixes. They're communicating with everybody very regularly. After that, I'd probably move into Madison. I really enjoyed the jump scares out of there. Very unsettling.
DLC is coming out on Halloween. You know that?
That's what you were saying for the Maxwell's Curse.
Yeah, it's coming out on Halloween.
I know I'm pretty excited about that. We
Yeah,
also
that's
got the Silent Hill 2 remake coming out in October as well.
yeah. Did you pre-order it? It comes
No,
out.
I'm going to. I'm going
Yeah,
to.
we
I
get
haven't
it
done it
two
yet.
days early. I said, bet. I'm always down to play
Yeah,
games earlier than everybody else. Come on now.
no, definitely did that. Um, I would say probably Befriended Curse was one of my top ones that I had played recently as well.
Hmm.
Faint Call was really good. I've been really into the body cam horror styles
Okay.
lately, or the photorealistic,
Sure,
just because
sure.
it feels more immersive. It feels like, kind of like
Like don't
if you go
scream.
back to Halo, for example.
Okay.
Just the way that they portrayed it, even though you know that it is John, just the way they portrayed it, like it felt like you. So it was like very, very immersive in that sense.
Okay.
Um, but then as for I guess my last one, I'd probably say Phasmophobia, just because throwing in the multiplayer there, getting scared with your friends, I really enjoy that. It's a simple game. You just replay each time, each time, each time, each time. It's the same thing, but it's just so nice to run it with a good set of friends.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. All right. I got two more questions, and then we're gonna switch over to watching you play some games. Um, So this is one of my favorite questions to ask. When and I literally every time I ask this question, I get goosebumps. I don't know why. It's just something about this question. When you hear the word horror, like what is your depiction of it, or like what is your perspective or definition when you hear that word? What is it to you? Hello, did I lose you?
When I hear the word horror,
Oh,
okay. So just gonna throw this out there real quick.
sure.
I think I slightly figured out the audio issue,
Oh,
maybe.
okay.
Nope, never mind. um,
I was so
so
confused.
when I hear the word horror, like when it comes to pertaining to games, I don't necessarily think of just like straight jump scares. I think of it on more of a psychological level. I think it on more of a personal level. When it comes to the reals of life when it comes to horror games. Again, like I said, on some of these devs touching base on abuse, um, substance use, mental issues that are going on, schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, things like that, that into the games. So I don't necessarily think of like monsters or anything like that in the
Mhm.
mythical sense. I think of it of monsters in the internal sense when it comes to something like that, and that's what I think of when it comes to hearing horror games.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I think that's a great answer. When it comes to like content creating or just life in general, like where do you see yourself in 5 years, and what are some of your biggest goals that you would like to achieve?
I would love to be reaching a larger audience. I love all the people that are in the streams all the time that are definitely, I don't want to say the words committed, but that are wanting
Invested.
to help build this community.
Sure.
wanting to drag more people, not drag, wanting to pull more people in here, wanting to share out, the stream, share out the content because they enjoy it so much. They have a
Mm-hmm.
lot of fun in here. They get to unwind. They get to interact with me. And I want to be able to expand a lot more just because of some of the things that I hear from people. It doesn't necessarily come through in the streams per se, but I get messages
Okay.
from time to time from people. And one of the last ones that I got was from an individual that said, "Hey, I've been going through a lot. I've been going through school. I've been doing this. I've been doing this. You're one of the only things that gets me through my day. I'm swamped with schoolwork. I'm swamped with this, slightly depressed. And then as soon as the stream comes on, I'm entertained. You acknowledge me. You get me involved. You ask us questions. You do this. You do this, and it feels good that other people are feeling good. So I'd like to project that out more. I'd like to keep continuing. I hope I'm continuing,
Yeah.
just because it feels really good to do that. It doesn't seem like I'm doing much, but I mean,
I was just
it's
about to
nice.
say how it's like when you hear stuff like that, like what is the? I'd literally ask you like, what are some of the emotions that you feel when people tell you, "Hey, I got you on my TV," or "I fall asleep to you," or "You helped me through a tough time," and you kind of touch based on that. Yeah, I get the same feeling, and it kind of gives you motivation to continue doing this. Like especially when you get to go through those times of like, do I even want to do this? And it gives your content and like more purpose than it has. Like every time, yeah, basically it gives you more motivation to continue doing what you're doing. So, yeah, I think honestly, like I love watching your content. Beyond
Appreciate it.
like I said, you are the reason why I play that Beyond Hand well, and I literally just when I'm stuck, I'm just like I'm just gonna watch Mimic. So shout out to you and everybody. Don't forget in the description is Mimic's links. Go check him out and give him a follow and be part of his audience. We're gonna switch over to watch you play a little bit of Beyond Handwell, and then I got more questions for you. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the first time we are doing this, so hopefully it goes well. We're gonna have the game not really portray any sound, just so we can have the conversation and go from there. Um, is there a reason? So you said Beyond Handwell is one of your favorite games. Could you give us some ideas of why this is one of your favorite horror games right now?
Why it's one of my favorites so far?
Yes, and why you put so much time
Oh,
into
I
it?
forgot to open it. I one the look of it is absolutely beautiful. I mean, obviously checking everything out right now, it looks absolutely amazing. I had the where's it at? No, all right. Hold on, give me 1 second.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
no,
the
you're good.
brightness. So I had this turned up for everybody that's on stream because it appears darker for anybody that's actually watching. But I mean, if you
Do
just
you
look
run
at
it on
everything,
max settings?
I do.
Do you do it like max settings when you're streaming? Do you have any like issues with that?
No,
Okay.
I don't. Actually, I have issues with my PC. So I constantly have to underclock my PC to get
Okay.
it to work correctly
Uh
when it
huh.
comes to Unreal Engine, just because there's a compatibility issue with my CPU and Unreal.
Mm.
So anything that I try to run on my normal settings, it automatically crashes the game. So I have to underclock it. It's weird.
Yeah. No, I've I feel you. Like for me, I've had like certain games that has like really intense graphics. I would have to turn on the settings because I do so many things. I don't only like obviously I don't only stream on one platform, so I got like all these things in my computer might get overloaded sometimes, especially with this game because it's just so like the graphics are just truly amazing. Do you have a favorite part in this game? Like, is there like
Favorite part? Well, I was going to go in here, but I didn't realize that I already cleared it. I was going to show you that one. That is one of the newest areas that they dropped, which is called the Anomaly Park, and it has
mm-hmm,
the anomaly It in it.
mm-hmm,
And as you can guess, it is a clown. It's actually really interesting on what they decided to do with it, I thought, because I didn't actually put two and two together at first when they had mentioned it. But if you read the little description of it when you first meet them, it states that it's an anomaly that takes a form of something personal to you, something basically scary and personal. And for some reason, we see this demented homicidal clown coming after us. So I really want to know why that clown has that significance for the main character, because it's different for everyone else, is what it says.
Okay.
Um, right now, we're just running down the strip towards the theater. Going to see if I hadn't cleared the theater yet. I got to come take a look over here to find out. But
Sure.
like I said, as you can see, this game is just absolutely gorgeous. There's anomalies that'll randomly pop up that'll come after you. Your main objective right now is to obtain 4 IDs to make it into the palace of the director, so you can get to the doctor in the bypass tunnel. These
Do
are the 4 individuals that we have to
yeah.
take the IDs from.
Is there any base like on with all the hours have you put in? Like, is there a basis between the main character, like a story behind the main character, or like do you know a little bit more about what is he about and stuff like that? Or they're still like putting content out and then unveiling it slowly.
There is. I don't want to necessarily give too much
Oh
away,
no, sure, that's fine.
but let me see what I can pull out real quick. I don't know if you can see it.
I see.
So
I
if
see the
you
spider.
catch his hand from time to time, I believe there's a 7 on it,
17. Oh, I thought it was
which
7. Oh, is it 7?
is that 17? Is that what it says?
I thought it was a 17, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. That'll give away part of kind of what's going on once you pick up on the storyline.
Sure.
But yeah, I don't want to delve too deep into the character, because it was kind of it was an interesting it was an interesting shock for me when I found out kind of what was going on. And
Okay.
so I don't want to ruin too much of that for
No,
somebody.
totally understand. Totally understand. Um, so this is another question I have for you. In your experience, what type of horror game content tends to like go viral for you, or basically brings large audiences to your channel?
I would say anything that is dark, scary, has the jump scares. But from what I've noticed for me personally, and it's, could be different for everybody else, uh, but no narration. A lot of people enjoy when I do the reading. It's going to sound weird, but basically they use my stream sometimes at night as like a bedtime night show.
Yeah,
So they fall asleep to the soothing sounds of me screaming basically, but also for some reason they just love hearing my voice.
which is very
I think it's
weird. I
because I'm
got
so
that
monotone.
too. People are like, I fall asleep to you. I said, I scream. Like,
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I'm over here yelling like things are attacking me, and you're over there just snoozing. You're like, oh yes, this is nice.
hey, what am I like rain music to you? Listen, hey, whatever people's things are, I totally respect it. um, have you noticed any trends in the horror game genres, or like, what do you think the future of horror games is gonna look like down the road?
I'm sorry. Can you say what about the trends again?
Oh no, no worries. So, have you noticed any trends in the horror game in the horror game genre, like basically like body cam horror? Is there like anything that, or like anomalies? Like, have you noticed any trends? And then the second part is, what do you think the future of horror games are gonna look like down the road?
So I would say that there's been obviously the body cam ones, they've been throwing out a lot of those. It looks like they kind of slowed down just a little bit, and for some of that.
Mm-hmm.
The photorealistic has been popping up quite a bit. PS1 style graphics have been coming back in like the indie area, the indie sections. If you look at some of the indie developers that are trying to get their games out there, they've been doing a lot of PS1 style graphics, which I think is great. I love testing them out, love leaving feedback for them. But they do, and I've been seeing a lot of comedy horror too, and that's been
Mm.
cracking me up, because you got the jump scare, but then you're also laughing. You don't know how to feel about it. So
Is there any?
no, it's
Can you give us a couple of recommendations for the comedy horror? I haven't really noticed any.
so like 647 Games
Okay.
does a lot of very interesting games. I mean, it's gonna sound funny when people hear it, but I mean, you got Poop Killer. I believe they're the ones that did Dad. You got Meat.
Okay.
Um,
I'm gonna have to check. I'm gonna
it's
have to check some of this stuff out.
it's they it's funny because they have Queso as one of their characters in there
Oh,
from
for
time to
real?
time. Yeah,
That's pretty dope. That's pretty dope. I'm definitely gonna have to check some of this stuff out. Well, let's talk about some fan reactions. Do you have any memorable fan reactions or comments that stand out to you from your horror content? How do you fans impact the content you create?
Um, fan moments that stand out, you said?
Yeah, like their fan moments, anything that, or any comments, any reactions that standed out to you when you're like making content, or like, and how do your fans impact you when you go live or like make videos and stuff like that.
Like I said, I think it would really just have to be a lot of when I said that they tell me that they've had a long day,
Mm-hmm.
that the stream just makes them feel really good. They love meeting new people in here. They love feeling good about being within a community of individuals that are enjoying these horror streams together and able to interact with people and just have a good time and kind of escape from the everydays of life of um, having to be responsible, having to do things, and just kind of unwind.
Okay.
I'd say a
Um,
lot of those are the ones that stand out.
yeah, no, I totally get it. When people find you for the first time, or for anybody who's listening, what do you want them to experience during one of your live streams, like, or just watching some of your videos? Like, what is the vision or the impression you want to leave to viewers that see you?
Just to feel like that they can enjoy themselves, that they can have a good time here, that um, they don't have to interact with me, they don't have to interact with everybody else. Sorry about switching this out, and you had
No, no, no.
the weird
Listen.
background going on there for a second. I had an issue going
No,
on.
no, no. I just want to say, this obviously this is live, which I love doing live streams because like recording is just you can mess up and then you could always just start the recording again. I love doing this live just because it's like things are gonna mess up. Like there's time when my daughter wakes up and I have to leave the live stream. So like this is it's totally fine. It's part of the aesthetic of
Well,
this. So
I tell
we're
you what,
at,
can I try one more thing real quick?
sure,
Give me just one
sure.
second. I'm gonna
I'm
give
gonna
you a
switch
different
over to
screen to use. Give me 1 second.
sure. But ladies and gentlemen,
Let's
I
see if
just
this
want to
fixes
say
it.
real quick, go check out It's the Mimic. All of his
Hopefully this fixes it.
socials will be in the description of the video, and yeah, go give a follow. I'm gonna switch over again. That leads into another question I had. Like, obviously, like when we're live streamers and everything like that, and when technical difficulties or things abruptly impact our stream, how do you handle some of that adversities when it's live and people are watching you when things go
I,
wrong?
I yell at the I yell at the PC. No, I mean it gets frustrating. I do my best to resolve it. It's kind of a pain in the butt.
Hmm.
I I troubleshoot as much as I can, or I at least tell them, hey, we're gonna end for a minute, and I'm gonna jump back on after I get this fixed.
Hmm.
Um, but I try to get a lot of this done before I even jump on. So that way it's not an issue that I have to deal with. But I mean, as you probably know, things just happen.
Oh,
Sometimes
100%.
you can't fix it. It's just a thing. And a lot of people don't realize that either. They're like, "How come you're late for the stream?" And I'm like, "I'm fixing something." They're like, "Didn't you fix something last night?" I'm fixing something again.
Yeah. Well, let's delve into that a little bit. Like, what is your streaming setup process? Like, what like before you go live? Like, what is how do you get ready for going live? Like, you start from the beginning. Like, do you get a cup of coffee? Do you like how what do you do to prepare before you hit that go live button?
So I have my water right here.
Mm-hmm.
I got my phone set up so that way I can see anything that I can't see, like on TikTok, for example, or anything on Twitch. I got three monitors right now. I have everything set through Streamlabs to where I'll just centralize through there. I applied for TikTok to stream on there. They said yeah, so that's cool.
Awesome.
But I enjoy everything having everything in a centralized area. It makes it a lot easier. But then I also have to check sounds. I have to check and make sure that the videos work, and I have to check and make sure that the quality's good. I have to check and make sure that um, nothing is lagging behind when it comes to getting the right output of the bitrate. I got to make sure that the game's running correctly and that the game's not slowing something down. I got to make sure that I underclock my PC every time before I jump on because of that CPU
Mm-hmm.
compatibility issue. And then same with like the sounds and whatnot right now, which um, for anybody that wonders why I'm a little slow to talking on here,
We had some
I have a
technical
sound issue
difficulties.
right now, and I'm trying to figure it out. But I'm gonna be honest, it sounds like I have schizophrenia, and it's kind of hilarious. It makes for a
Adds to
good
the horror.
show.
It's a it's whispers of
That's the
horror. You're
horror.
literally hearing whisper. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, which is kind of why some of the answers are delayed, he is hearing himself, and it's I totally hear. I can't. I don't hear it, but it's kind of hard to have a conversation with somebody when you're hearing yourself too. So I got to give it up to Mimic because I don't know how you're doing it, and I just want to say you are playing it off very well, and kudos to you, man. You are an awesome content creator because like I said, it's very hard to even tell that you're even having issues. So
I'm trying. I'm trying. It's almost
um,
like four people talking to me at once, but it's hilarious. I love
hey, listen,
it.
you're doing fantastic. That means you can if you're ever in a classroom and mad people are talking, you can focus on one voice. So hey, kudos to you. So with all that set up, like, how long do you think that takes you? Like an hour, half an hour, 10 minutes, hours?
Um, I try to be set up as soon as possible. It could. There's been times where it has taken me over an hour to get it done. To where I'm late for the stream. Everybody's like, "Where you been?" I'm like, "I'm dealing with stuff. Just hold on a second."
Mm-hmm.
Um, or there's other times where it's just an easy fix and I can get it done within like 2 seconds right before the stream. But I mean, it just varies. It depends on what's going on.
Yeah.
And then obviously, life things might happen as well. You got something going on outside of getting the setup done to where you got to handle your other business. But mainly for technical difficulties, it's not too bad. But I'd say on at least a weekly basis, I got something that I got to fix.
Awesome. I got a question from Francesca saying, "Ask Mimic about his chickens." I have to ask, what's up with his chickens?
So playing the new demo of We Harvest Shadows, I noticed that the devs didn't cap you out on how many chickens that you could have. And so I ended up having like 300 chickens running around. I was creating this entire chicken army. I was gonna see how many chickens I can make before the game breaks. And then they took them all away from me.
Oh
They
wow.
took them all away. They said you ain't doing it. They said you
Them
ain't doing it.
wolves, the wolves took his chickens, man. Yeah, that's
They
funny.
took my chickens, my coops, my fence, everything.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Is there speaking of, you said it's the demo? Is there any games that you're looking forward to in the next couple of months?
Like we had said earlier, the Silent Hill 2 remake,
Hmm.
definitely looking forward to that. We Harvest Shadows. I didn't I
Is
don't
it good?
play like
Is it that good?
farmer simulating
Yeah.
games or anything like that. I actually really enjoy what they got going on with this one. They have some pretty intense jump scares in there. Um, I didn't think I could get lost in farming or building, but as soon as my buddy Tyler, who's one of the other streamers that I stream with, as soon as he showed me the forest, man, he was out there. He's like, "Let's go explore this cave," and I'm like, trying to build this Attack on Titan looking wall, trying to build a base, trying to build this, cutting
Hmm.
down trees. He comes back, there ain't no trees left. He can see the ocean. He's like, you've been doing too much. Like, so I would say We Harvest Shadows is definitely one that I'm looking forward to.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Awesome. Is there okay? So we are in September. So we have 9 months of video game horror games. Is there a game that you would say is your leading horror game of the year?
Leading horror game of the year,
Yes.
as in
Like, what
as
is
in
your
what,
game of the
what
year so far?
man, I'm honestly I'm gonna have to say Beyond Hanwell. Like this has been absolutely, like I said, it's been absolutely amazing. I'm trying to remember what the heck this passcode is over here, but the like I said, the little hints of the story that you start to find when you find these little pieces of paper around, listening to the tapes that are on here, the fight scenes with some of the bosses, like it has just been absolutely phenomenal. Like I would definitely say that this has been my number one top game for the year. Aside from one, hold on. I definitely beat At Dead of Night to death. I absolutely enjoyed it. I didn't think I was going to, but that game is absolutely phenomenal. I forgot about that one. I don't know how I forgot about it, but we maxed out the achievements on it.
Hey,
And I told everybody I won't touch it again because they were like, this is like the 16th night that we played this. Can we please play something else?
that's fun. That's awesome. Awesome. um, so indie games versus mainstream horror games. Do you prefer indie games or mainstream titles? Like, and what's the biggest difference between the two in your experience?
I would say I've enjoyed more of the indie games recently, just because they're able to come out at a like I feel like they're coming out at like a faster rate. You're getting a lot of shorter content out of them. It's great for the content creation. It's great for getting views because you can flood through games. You can go back through them to try to different out if they do have different endings or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it keeps people entertained. So even with playing Visage, yes, a lot of people enjoyed it, but it can be a kind of a lengthy game if you're going to go through everything, and a lot of people kind of lose attention a little bit.
Yeah, I get that.
But they still enjoy it. Like it's an amazing game. I'm not saying that. I mean, obviously, it's not a. I don't want to say it. I, I would definitely say that I enjoy the a lot of the shorter indie games a lot more.
Okay. Um, I had one more question. It just completely disappeared. Again, this is the part of live streaming. Things just don't go right sometimes. While I find this question, let's watch me play some games. I can't believe it disappeared. Hold on. All right, we're gonna go on capella because it's not coming back. I don't I enjoy live streaming. Wait, I didn't even ask how long have you been live streaming? You might have mentioned it, but I'm gonna ask it again.
I want to say that I had started sometime September last year. So no, wait, was it September? Have we been doing it for a year now? I want to say that yeah, we're almost on a year. We should be almost on a year.
Okay, that's pretty cool. All right, I have like two more questions for you. Um, say I met you on in real life. I'm a random person, and I go, hey, I know you live stream, and I'm looking into getting into live streaming, and or just content creating. Like, what is some advice that you can give to some people? And then my second question is, knowing that from streaming for a year, like if you could tell yourself when you first started, what advice would you give your starting self gaming when you first started?
Um, so I actually help a lot of people out already when it comes to that.
Sure.
I've had a few people already ask me questions on how to get a lot of the content going, how to outsource to people, how to network, how to set up their streams and whatnot. I actually love doing it. I think it's a lot of fun. I did a lot of reading. I didn't necessarily have a huge amount of help. There are a few streamers that definitely did help me with some questions that I had. It was, just something that maybe I couldn't find on the internet, or maybe something I couldn't figure out on my own, and they were more than happy to help me out. So I thought that was really awesome. Um, but I'm more than happy to help somebody out. And I would say something that I wish I would have done, I guess, is I would say that I wish I was a little bit more prepared when I first started. I was just kind of winging a lot of things. Um, didn't necessarily know how to make things look pretty for the camera and whatnot. Didn't necessarily have the best. I mean, you don't have to have the best camera or anything like that, but I mean, obviously, people want to see your face. They want to be able to engage with somebody. I
Hmm.
wish I would just been a little bit more prepared than I was when I first started.
Okay, I totally get that. Like, honestly, my if I had answered the same question, I'd just be like, don't play Magic the Gathering. You just, I'm a big Magic the Gathering fan, and I still play it, and I seeped so much money into playing it, and just like, it wasn't the genre for me. I wish I just delved into more different genres instead of just saying I'm just gonna be a Magic the Gathering streamer until I realized that playing 8 hours of Magic is not
I
ideal.
um I did used to do that as well, but I can agree with you. I did notice that some games just aren't it. I mean, yeah, it's great to enjoy it. You definitely want to enjoy what it is you're doing, but if it's not getting the views that you're
True.
wanting, you might want to move on to something else. Not saying that you have to, but if that's your goal is to get the views and not necessarily just allow people to kind of watch what you enjoy,
Yeah.
you might want to move on to something else.
Absolutely, absolutely. Frankie asks, is there anything you find difficult about streaming and interacting with a lot of people?
Um, when it's like I have schizophrenia, then it's a little difficult. I'm not joking about schizophrenia. It's a serious thing. But interacting with everybody, no. I try my best. I'm not going to interact with everyone on there. I'm going to miss some questions, ask them again. I'm totally cool with coming back to it if I miss something or somebody else can ask the same question. But no, I would say I'm pretty decent at multitasking for the most part.
Okay, awesome. I did have one more question, but I'm gonna just throw this one in. Since you love Beyond Handwell, and say if the developers hit you up and be like, we would love you to be in our game since you play it so much more than eating, breathing, and sleeping. But what character what anomaly would you put yourself as?
Can you say that about the anomaly again?
Yeah, no worries. If the developers found you and wanted to put you in the game as an anomaly, what anomaly would you put? Like as
Like which anomaly would I portray myself as?
Yeah, yeah. What anomaly would you be?
Um, hmm. Oh gosh.
And what?
Probably it just because I'm creepy and unhinged sometimes.
Okay. Would you be different in any other way? Like would you still have the same abilities as it, or would you have something completely different?
Um, the ability to produce mass amounts of chickens at my beckoning. Some silly stuff.
You better have a chicken emote in one of your stickers, man. I don't want to hear it. You gotta have one
Actually,
that.
we're going to. We
Hey,
got pizza emotes now. We got bread emotes. We're gonna have chicken emotes here eventually as
hey,
well.
I look forward to seeing those. My final question for you is there anything you want to tell the viewers who are watching this, or anybody who's going to watch this in the future? And like, is there any projects or things you're going to be doing in the near future?
Um, so I am still slowly working on different readings and whatnot. A lot of people had mentioned that I should do kind of like almost like creepypasta readings.
Sure.
I am still putting those together. I only put out one or two just to test the waters with it. But I might do something with that still. I've got things on standby. Like I said, I haven't put them out yet. Um, but I might throw them here and there just to kind of see how they do before I commit to it.
Okay. Awesome. If you don't mind plugging yourself one more time before we end this live.
I'm sorry, can you say it again?
No worries. If you don't mind plugging yourself one more time before we end the live, so where people can find you and what times you stream
Oh,
and.
gotcha. So they can find me. My username on most platforms is going to be it's underscore the underscore mimic. I am Central Standard Time. Most of the time I'll be streaming at 8:30 at night. On the weekends we might have an early stream that we jump on to. A lot of people can catch the horror streams in there. Um, we do movie nights on Sunday. A lot of people do, and again, we roll with the theme still. We roll with the theme. We do movie nights in Discord, and we have the horror movies going on. We're all excited for the new Terrifier. Um,
Yeah.
little gory, little graphic. Um, but yeah, they can catch me on there. Usually in the night, and sometimes throughout the day if I'm feeling a little extra generous.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, this is episode 33 of Whispers of Horror. Make sure you find It's the Mimic on all platforms and go give him a follow. He's an awesome streamer, plays Beyond Handwell way too much. No, I'm just kidding. He plays it so much that I literally watch him all the time because I get stuck in the game literally all the time. But I just want to say thank you so much, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night until next time.
Thank you so much for having me, man. I really
Absolutely.
appreciate it, and hope you have a